Brock in New York, WR, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't believe anybody, but I have a rhetorical answer to your question, which would be that the idea is that people need to consume, and supposedly the economy expands. Remember, after 9/11, Rudy Giuliani said, go out, have some dinner, go out and buy something. So they mistakenly believe that somehow this will expand the economy. That's what they say, but this is not necessarily the case.
Well, the idea was trickle down prosperity, but as I defined it during the campaign, what Obama is bringing to America is trickle-up poverty. I defined that term. I gave it to John McCain to run with it. He could have won the debate by saying, Obama, your policies have been tried before. If he didn't want to use the Marxist word, he was afraid of it, McCain, because he was afraid of telling the truth. Your policies are nothing but trickle-up poverty. Would have been the end of the election.
Well,
but that's what we're seeing here. This is trickle-up poverty.
Another question for you, though.
Yes.
You said that this country was founded on Christian principles, ultimately based on Judaic principles. Now, as far as I know, in the New Testament, it says if you get hit, you should turn the other cheek. And also Jesus is quoted as saying, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. So I don't know where you got the idea that this country was founded on such principles.
Well, because you don't understand turn the other cheek. I have had professors of divinity, professors of theology, Christian experts discuss this in great detail. It doesn't mean you perennially turn the other cheek. In other words, otherwise you wind up dead. You wind up a piece of chopped meat.
Thing with the camel.
Where does the Bible say you shouldn't protect yourself? Can you find it anywhere, Brock?
A camel to pass through the eye of a needle. Then
right, I read that last week on the show. I've quoted it many times. Look what it got Jesus.
Question, Michael.
I mean, look what it got him, that statement. It got him very far. Yeah, what else?
The idea supposedly it was founded on these principles. I have one last question for you.
Yes, but wait a minute. Just because a nation is founded on principles doesn't mean it follows a chapter and verse every second of the day. That was their faith. It doesn't mean it was their action. I mean, understand there's a little difference between faith and action, or faith and daily living. You understand that? You could be a great believer in principles and believe in God and still recognize that you have to do certain things to survive.
Most nations abandon their principles when it becomes convenient for them to do so. That's obvious.
I understand that. I understand all of that. Nothing's in the. We don't live in a petri dish.
Where is the Marxism? Marxism is expropriation of private property. Marxism is nationalization of industry.
Hold. Appropriation of private property. What would you call taking the taxpayers' money and spending it on boondoggles? Is that not appropriating? Wait, is that not appropriating property? Money is property, Brock.
Of course. You said yourself.
Well, don't go over it like I didn't say anything. I did answer your question. Of course he's not seizing my farm, so to speak. But he's seizing my income. That's why I'm opposed to high taxation. That, to me, is Marxism to begin with. You know, this graduated income tax is utterly unfair. Why should I be rewarded in the negative for earning more money? Tell me how that works.
Money goes to Goldman Sachs and the automakers, Michael. Where is the socialism?
Whoa, now you're changing the argument. You just changed the discussion. You're telling me Goldman Sachs is a classic capitalist organization, Brock?
Yes, of course it's
It is not a capitalist organization by any means. The Goldman Sachs that you are looking at is a new form of capitalism. It is a fascist capitalism. It has seized all reins of power by putting their own men into the treasury and, in a way, in reverse engineering, taking the treasury upon itself as though it owns it. Goldman Sachs is not a traditional capitalist enterprise in the sense of laissez-faire capitalism. It is something new entirely. This is fascist capitalism. They have, in essence, perverted the word capitalism itself.
The big three automakers.
What's the question about them?
They're also receiving money. The money is being redistributed from the middle class to the big three automakers to corporate America. Where's the socialism, Michael?
Where's the socialism? Again, they're appropriating the property of the middle class. If the middle class were asked, do you want to bail out Chrysler, for example, which is, by the way, owned by a private equity group, not by a corporation in the sense that you are talking about, it's money going into the hands of, again, capitalist fascists who are seizing it from the middle class. This is a very unique situation here, Brock. Chrysler is owned by a private equity group. They're taking the money from the people, they're appropriating the private property of the people, and giving it to a private equity firm. It's the same with Goldman Sachs, who took the money from the Treasury into the hands of the private sector, meaning their own pockets. That's appropriation.
Okay. Marx also said that religion is the opiate of the masses. So
Correct.
Where is the connection? Anybody who believes in any religion, by definition, cannot be a Marxist.
So what is your point?
My point is that Obama, if he's a Christian or a Muslim or whatever he is, he cannot be a Marxist because he claims at least, or you're saying that he's just
Well, wait a minute, Brock. Wait. You think that the driving force in Obama's life is religious, or do you think it's political?
No, it's political, obviously.
All right. Well, let's take it a step at a time. We're having a reasonable discussion. We're not fighting. We're not arguing. You think that he's any different than Bill Clinton, who walked around with a staged Bible that was oversized with a big cross on it?
No, of course not.
All right, fine. So it's a show Bible. It's a show religion, whatever it may be. I don't think there's much there. I think he's a nakedly aggressive politician like all of them. So I think it's an inappropriate argument because I don't know if there's any religion there. I think it's all phony. That's my personal belief.
Main point, Michael, is what I've been trying to say the whole time, and I'll say it explicitly and blatantly, okay? There is no Marxist revolution in this country, you understand? Because the capitalist class in this country will not allow such a revolution. If Obama tries to do even a fraction of what you claim he's going to do, they will dig up his coke dealer or somebody from the past. Do you understand what I'm saying? They will discredit him in one way or another. He will
But I think you're wrong. I think you're not reading the tea leaves correctly. Let us go back to the beginning. You're a man who is apparently knowledgeable. Do you know what Fabian socialism is, Brock?
I've heard the expression, but I can't say that I know what it is exactly.
All right, fine. At least you're willing to say that. Let me explain what it is. The Fabian socialists realize that you cannot bring about a socialist revolution through violence. It doesn't work. It backfires. You have to do it by increment and through peaceful means. And you have to do it incrementally and slowly. I did not say that he is a Marxist. I said these are neo-Marxists. That was my exact definition of the Obama regime. And they're going slowly. This is the infancy of the neo-Marxist Obama regime. Of course they're not going to run out and nakedly seize private property and close the churches the way the Bolsheviks did in the Soviet Union in 1917. That's not the way it works. They do it by degree and slowly. That's the point I'm making. But if you analyze what he's actually doing, we have a mini fascist state going on here. Let's start with his first executive order. He, by decree, closes Guantanamo Bay. Why did he do that? What was the meaning of doing that? Who was he satisfying? The far left, the MoveOn.org, the zany, crazy left that helped put him in power. Do they actually know why they're closing it? They came up with the big lie that there was torture going on there. There was no torture going on there. They took some of the most dangerous people on earth and they put them on the hellhole of Cuba. And they did so to protect the American people. That's why. But why did Obama, his first executive order, close Gitmo? Now, is that the act of a Democratic president?
Why not close it? What's the difference?
Well, now you're starting to get rhetorical with me. What do you mean, why not close it? Was this voted upon? Did the Senate debate the merits or the dismerits of closing the Guantanamo? Were they discussed so the American people can listen to this? Like, if you close it, where do the prisoners go? No, it was done by decree. That's fascism.
Anything in this country ever been discussed with the American people before?
Well, wait a minute. Something as significant as closing Gitmo and saying it's closed, that we feel better now, but they don't know what to do with the prisoners. Let's go to the second or third executive order. Again, fascism. Why did Obama declare that they should get a trial in America when they were given military trials, which, by the way, had been established in the 1940s by the socialist president FDR, as I've described in great details, when the Americans caught espionage, German agents in America were landed by submarine off the coast of Long Island, New Jersey. They were captured and tried by military tribunals. They were given the same exact treatment, except when they were found guilty, 6 or 7 of them were shot. They were not afforded trials, and they were not given constitutional protections. That was under FDR, a socialist president. Why would Obama grant them constitutional rights?
I have no idea. Except to cater
you have no idea. Again, this is the act of a despot who just does it by decree. There was no discussion. There was virtually no discussion. The radical left wanted them to have a trial. Why? Why should they be given a civil trial? Why?
There is no radical left in this country. This is an illusion that is created by people like you.
Oh, come on. Now you're pulling my leg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is not a part of the radical left?
There is no left wing in this country, Michael.
Oh, come on. Now, Brock, now I know you're just trying to discredit me, but you're not doing a very good job. There's no radical left in this country. Okay. Where is there a radical left, Brock?